But my biggest regret with this M1 iMac is, so it's been a week now, 1 week since the new M1 iMac has come out. Now there's some good things and there's some bad things that we gotta talk about. So let's go ahead and break this down.
Okay, iMac, let's play. M1, it's May. Bossed up cause it's my birthday.
Woo.
Undressing like I'm trying to get the first base. With these chips, man, they leading in the first place. With all these colors, man, I'm trying to catch the bouquet. Tell me what you need, more bars, greed halfway. Touch the keys, never freeze, let it breathe. Matching needs, man, please. Magic mouse in the house, when in doubt, let it out. Gain clout, let's route. If you rock with this intro, hit the like button. If you proud, it's a sub, say it loud. Let's get this video poppin', spit some facts, break it down one time for the squad.
What up, y'all? It's your boy CKid here. Yes, I have been using the M1 iMac for literally 1 week. Well, I guess when this video actually come out, it'll actually be more than a week, but you get where I'm coming from. Today, I'm gonna be talking about in this video here, man, the good, the bad, as well as the ugly about the brand new M1 iMac. Now, you all know that I got this one right here in the orange color, and right off the bat, guys, I love this machine. I'm just gonna say it, it's a really good machine, but there's just some things that's just not working for me. Now, I think Apple did a great job as far as the build quality as well as the internals of this machine, that there's not really a whole lot of things to really complain about, to be honest with you, but there are some. Now, if you haven't been following my M1 iMac coverage and you're like, CKid, what the heck is this Apple machine that you are talking about? Well, I'm glad you asked. Now, this is Apple's latest M1 project that is the upgraded version of the iMac machine. Now, this is an all-in-one computer that includes a keyboard as well as a mouse, as well as a computer and a screen that is built all in together in one solid unitary or whatever piece of equipment. That's what this is. Now, there are two different versions of this machine that you guys can get. You can get an 8-core CPU and a 7-core GPU model. Now, that version is only gonna come with 2 Thunderbolt USB 4 ports, and it does not include the additional 2 ports that you guys are seeing right here on this machine, as well as the gigabit Ethernet port located on the back of the power brick instead of on the back of the iMac like we've seen in the past, meaning that that machine will only work off of Wi-Fi connection. And last, it does not include the Magic Keyboard with the Touch ID, and we're gonna talk about that Touch ID a little later in this video, so definitely stick around for that. Whereas the other model, which includes the 8-core GPU as well as the CPU model that comes with 2 additional USB 3 ports, a gigabit Ethernet port, and the Magic Keyboard with the Touch ID. And when you guys actually buy that thing, make sure to get the cheapest storage option at 256 gigabytes, because Apple will charge you guys $800 for 2 terabytes of storage or $400 for 1 terabyte of storage. And you guys can check out this website that I've been buying all of my Apple accessories from, called theapplenest.com, and pick up the USB-C hub with the SATA SSD enclosure for only 89 bucks. It was literally just $100, so you guys might want to actually hop on that right now and actually buy that. And then you can get your own SSD that's only going to cost you guys about $114. And you guys can just Velcro it right here on the back of this machine, totaling about $203 opposed to paying Apple's $400 and $800, putting about $200 to $600 back into your pocket that can go towards that keyboard that I'm gonna be telling you guys about here in a second. Trust me, y'all, the math is right. So just so you get a sense of how I've been using my iMac over the past week, I've been using it for casual web browsing, heavy video, as well as photo editing using Adobe Premiere, Final Cut Pro, Adobe Lightroom, as well as some Photoshop work. Also, I did some music production editing work on it as well, using Adobe Audition on a project that I'm working on. So definitely make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys don't miss that at all. And the last thing I've been doing on here is watching movies as well as streaming music from Apple Music as well. So with all of that being said, how has this machine held up? Let's start off with the build quality overall. Now, I think this machine here looks great. Let me turn it around here. I personally think this machine here, looks good despite the white bezels that goes around it. And we're gonna get to these white bezels a little later because I'm telling it all in this video. Honestly, guys, these colors make you want to be on this computer literally all freaking day because it's actually really nice to look at. Speaking of that white bezel that we was just talking about, let's go ahead and get to that. Now, at first, I can't front. When I took this bad boy here out of the box, I was like, dang, Apple, why you have to give us a computer that looks dated with the white bezels on it? I thought at first I was looking at one of the older iPhones with the white face on it. Y'all remember that one? I gotta say, after using it for a little over a week now, the more that I've been using this machine here, the more I've noticed that the white bezels just kind of fade away and you don't even really notice it anymore. So I'm guessing what Apple did they research, and they knew that this white bezel here, opposed to like a black bezel, would blend in more with your eyes naturally than the black bezel would. Now, aesthetically, don't get me wrong, if it's just sitting in a room, I still think the black bezel would look the best over the white bezel. Understand that the white bezels actually blend in more with your eyes naturally when you're sitting at this machine for longer periods of time. Also, having the white bezels also serves another purpose, which is having an area to be able to do this. So if I want to be able to move this machine, I can just grab it around the edges without having to put fingerprints all on my display. And the same actually goes for the thick chin that's at the bottom as well. It's something about this 24-inch display on how it is actually designed. When you guys are actually using it in person, it actually seems bigger than it actually is. I can't really put my finger on what that actually is, but it does look bigger in person. Now the camera, to me, I'll be honest with you guys, did they improve the camera quality? Yes, they did, but I'm not 100% happy with it at all. Now, I feel that this was an upgrade that Apple just kind of did to say that they upgraded the camera. I question, as thick as the white strip that we have here on this display that you guys are seeing, I feel like they could have gave us a better camera in terms of the video quality. So in my personal testing of this camera, if you are in a well-lit room like I have here, I got big lights and everything up here on the ceiling, then I feel like the camera quality is good and is usable. But as soon as you don't have too much light, it just seems to fall apart for me. Also, if your setup is like mine, where I have a window that is behind me, where the sun just won't stop shining through, then I feel like this camera actually struggles to balance the video quality of this camera as well. Now, is it a better camera? Yes, but it's still not all the way there how I want it. Next thing is the second most thing that I like about this machine, and that is the speaker quality. Now, the audio coming out of this machine, guys, sounds really freaking good, like really good. Now, this is something that I can go on record and say, guys, Apple, job well done. You guys did your thing here, man. The audio quality on here has really good bass. And if you know me from when I was reviewing headphones and earbuds and different things like that, then you know I love bass in my music, and Apple did not disappoint here with these speakers. And so much that I can go on record and also say that you don't really need external desktop speakers for a iMac setup. Now, I will say external speakers will give you higher volumes and different things like that, but in my opinion, it's not really needed because the onboard speakers are really that good. And staying in the area audio, right? Before we actually get into talking about performance testing and all of that within this machine, let's talk about the built-in microphones on this iMac. These are really impressive to me as well. I tested this out literally day one of me opening this bad boy up, taking it out of the box and setting everything up, and it sounded really good. Also did some testing with a couple Zoom calls, with a couple Skype calls, couple FaceTime calls, and it sounded really good. So in my opinion, in my testing, if you guys are using this for Skype calls, Zoom calls, FaceTime, anything like that, then I feel like you won't necessarily need an external microphone to be able to use with this machine because the onboard mics are really good. Told y'all there wasn't a lot of negative things about this machine. Now let's go ahead and talk about how has the M1 16GB RAM version held up for me, and will I be going back to the 8GB RAM version option of my M1 Mac Mini? Before I answer that second part of this statement and this question, the 16GB RAM version to me, guys, is no doubt the way. No question. If you guys are planning on buying this iMac, get the 16GB RAM version. Don't even look at the 8GB at all. Save up a little bit of extra coins. Get the 16 over the 8GB RAM version. Trust me, your pockets long term will thank you in the long run. I put this machine to the test with editing 4K videos on it, rendering and exporting it in Final Cut Pro as well as Adobe Premiere Pro. Then I did a test where I exported a 6-minute and 50-second 4K video file in Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere Pro, literally exporting them at the exact same time. Although I'm exporting both of these, not a single fan has kicked on with this M1 iMac machine. Now, underneath here at the bottom, it is a little warm down here, like literally right here. It is extremely warm right here. And that's kind of to be expected. Surprisingly, Adobe Premiere actually held its own, but that's gonna be in a whole separate video where I talk more about that, so stick around for that. So if you are wondering, can you edit 4K video on this machine? Trust me, guys, it is a dream to edit on. Literally no skipping or dropping frames or anything like that on my timeline. It was very smooth with my workflow with editing on this machine. Now, although I love the colorful keyboard as well as the mouse, I still recommend you guys buy the Logitech MX keys as well as the MX Master 3. Here's why. The Magic Keyboard with the Touch ID is the best and number one thing that Apple could have added to their computer lineup. Don't get me wrong, it makes the workflow as well as signing into applications and websites just so much smoother and quicker and easier to do with the Touch ID. And there's even been times where I've forgotten my password and Apple, it just pops up right there on the screen, put my finger on it, boom, I'm logged in and good to go. Now, if we've been honest about this Touch ID, it is not the fastest at all, but it's not bad either. But my biggest regret with this M1 iMac is not buying the Magic Keyboard with the number pad on it. Legit, I didn't even know that was an option until after I bought this and I set it up, and then I saw someone post out there on Twitter that they had the number pad Magic Keyboard with the Touch ID. So I recommend you guys click on this little hidden option here and select the keyboard with the Touch ID and number pad on it. Trust me guys, you will thank me, and with the money that you guys are saving from the storage hack that I told you guys about earlier, where you can buy the USB-C hub and Velcro it right onto the back of this machine, and you guys can scoop that keyboard up for only 80 bucks, still keeping $123 in your pocket in savings. Now, I'll have a link for that down in the description section below for that hub as well as the SSD. Oh, and the last thing I actually forgot, I don't even know how I forgot to mention this, and that is the display. Man, listen, this display is a great display. I'm kind of salty whenever I have to switch things over to my LG monitors that I currently have, although those are solid monitors, don't get me wrong, but the color accuracy on this 4.5K display is really good. When watching movies on it, the colors just seem to pop more. The visuals seem to be more vibrant than ever. Even editing videos like this one right here on it, I feel like I get more colors that's true to my videos whenever I'm editing on here versus editing on my other LG monitors. So to say the least, do I plan on switching from the M1 Mac Mini to the 24-inch M1 iMac? No, and to be honest with you guys, from an upgraded RAM going to 8 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes of RAM, it is very noticeable change that's hard to give up. But I can't do a 24-inch display. Although it's a nice display, I've gotten so accustomed to my 34-inch ultra-wide monitors, and I need that screen real estate. Now, when Apple actually decides to hit us with that 27-inch or 32-inch M1 or M2 iMac Pro, then, you know, conversations may shift. But as of right now, the M1 Mac Mini is still my favorite go-to because of the small footprint it has on my desk space, and it is still powerful enough to handle all of my needs as a creative and just a regular online user. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Also, go ahead and let me know how many likes is on this video at the time that you guys are watching it. And yeah, thanks again for watching. See y'all in the next one. Squad.